Here we go, guys. Round 2 of the tightrope Pacific Invitational. We're going to see Brigade spawning here on the right, playing as Ostia, against PauL spawning on the left, playing as the Soviet Union. And PauL has straight away selected Armored Assault, so interesting choice. We are on Kholodny Ferma Summer. As for Brigade's loadout, similar to last time, close to support Storm this time though, and Lightning more again. So no mobile defense. Interesting choice. And looks like Brigade slightly messed up his barbed wire making here. What is he doing? He's putting down 2 lots of barbed wire right on top of them, each other. Generally what you want to do is you want to command your pioneers to come in here and then like queue up a command to put the wire in after they've walked in here. That's how I do it anyway, and that's a bit of a mess really. 2 partially complete bits of wire there. Decided he had to get going though. Needs to wire off the rest of the map. PauL going for an early bit of sandbagging on this munitions point. Here we will see our first engagement. Pioneers up close, but they quickly drop one model. So do the conscripts on the other hand. Here comes the MG42 for support. Conscripts try and get out of its arc of fire, maybe behind the tree line, but are unsuccessful, and nicely done there by Brigade. Takes that first engagement. Looks like Brigade's going to go for quite an aggressive play here, jumping straight into this garrison right outside PauL's base, which can be very hard for anybody to unseat in the early game. He's actually going to apply some pressure to that point. Maybe neutralise that and jump back in the garrison, indeed. MG42 set up here, covering that munitions point, and Pioneers doing some back capping here. Down to only 2 men. Anything they try and construct will be rather slow. PauL now trying to brute force these Grenadiers out of the garrison. Grenadiers should try and focus this squad behind the light cover rather than the squad behind the heavy cover. Looks like MG42 is moving up for a flank on these conscripts though. I wonder if these conscripts are going to know they're going to continue to move to the south. So this could be a nasty surprise here from Brigade. Looks like the MG42 though cannot see past the hedgerow, but now they can. Those conscripts slightly move into its arc of fire, get suppressed, and Brigade's off to a pretty good start here. Some nice early aggressive play, making it very tough for PauL to get out of his base. And is he going to move this MG42? No. So wondering if he's going to move that into the garrison. It would be quite risky though. It does have quite a tough retreat path with this fence here until you crush that fence. Conscripts don't want to try and advance against those Grenadiers in heavy cover, decide to disengage. Maybe try to put some pressure on that machine gun or munitions point. Looks like PauL sending his troops around the north way, just straight up trying to avoid that garrison. Now it does have this flamethrower squad though, so that should help him unseat Brigade's troops, but Brigade doing a very nice job keeping his MG42 very mobile, halting PauL's advances once more with this MG42. This is really nice MG42 play, getting really aggressive with it and causing PauL a lot of issues. Looks like Brigade's trying to focus down that flamethrower. He knows that that's his main issue right now. MG42 does manage to suppress that squad, and there's a mass retreat there from PauL. So PauL's off to a disastrous start. This is pretty much the dream start for Brigade. Despite having a slight victory point advantage, he's got excellent map control. He's now going to put some pressure on PauL's cutoff.
We have secured the sector.
This is the tougher spawn for sure, the left-hand spawn. That's why I gave to the allies, expecting the quads. I felt It is necessary to give Axis a slight edge on this map. So NT42's decided to move back into the church for a while, a slightly more defensive position.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And Brigade trying to flick some bleed on the retreat onto these squads, actually jumping out of that garrison for a while. PauL is now putting down his tech structure though. It doesn't matter that Brigade has had such good map control, not enough to stop. Pretty fast tier 3 from PauL. Though he does not even have enough fuel or munitions to get a quad, so he's got to do something about his map control situation if he wants to make full use of that quad. Brigade actually going for a mortar, so it's going to be a pretty heavy tier 1. Does have tier 2 down though, and I imagine a pack will be his next purchase. Maybe a half track as well, though the half track does get shredded by the quad. You have to be very, very careful.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Oh wow! Flame crits aplenty! Knocks out that Pioneer squad on retreat. That was just a rotten bit of luck for Dill's Brigade. All three of those Pioneers got roasted there on retreat in the blink of an eye, but it looks like he's going to be able to recruit. No, what is he doing? Oh, he just picks it up in the nick of time. If PauL had jumped out of the front door, he would have double flamethrowers on those combat engineers. Instead, Brigade keeps control of that flamethrower. Looks like he's going to try to soften up these constant squads here with his mortar. PauL has also gone for a mortar. So a bit of indirect fire for both players. Nice dodge there off that rifle grenade though from PauL. And looks like PauL is actually using that mortar to shell this garrison. Try to soften up the MG42. And we do see a half track, so still no pack from Dill's Brigade. Much to my surprise. He knows that he's put some early pressure on PauL, but surely he's got to expect it to be coming out in the very near future. Oh, nice mortar hit. That MG42's in trouble. Decides to retreat it rather than try and reinforce it with this half track on the front lines. Is using the half track to reinforce those grenadiers though. And that. Oh, he's gone for the Flammenwerfer upgrade on his half track. This is a very rare sight. So that means he must have tipped. No? Okay. So now he's got to be doubly careful because it's 120 munitions and that thing will go down in the blink of an eye to a quad. Just like 1.5 bursts from the quad will knock it out. Still, PauL hasn't managed to... Oh no, now the quad's coming out. He's finally managed to save enough munitions for it. And Brigade's in a bit of trouble now. Doesn't have any mines that I'm aware of. Doesn't have a pack. So he's not very well prepared to try and counter this quad. And PauL's getting quite bold with it as well. Perhaps trying to hunt down... No, I was going to say perhaps trying to hunt down a half track, but no. And actually Brigade selected Storm, so he may be thinking the Regal mine. So some interesting play here from Brigade. Bold play. I believe a Regal will take down a quad in one mine. But we'll have to see. This is very interesting. Nice to see a bit of non-meta play here in the form of Storm Doctrine. Does of course have the Howitzer, Regal anti-tank mine, ambush camouflage, which is tough to use. And of course the Stuka dive bomb, so that could be useful if PauL does decide to go for a Howitzer. Not that Brigade knew that he has already locked in Armoured Assault. There's no way of knowing that, of course. Looks like a Regal went down there. You can see those 3 little strips there. That is the Regal mine. A bit harder to spot than Metallo miners as well. Flameworth here in the south, but he's got to be careful because these conscripts do have anti-tank grenades researched. Looks like they're trying to get in range for it, but Dualskade's quite good on his micro there. Quad in the centre. Needs to be careful though because a pack is moving up to try and fire upon it. Decides to disengage. Doesn't want to get mass AT grenaded, of course. And the follow-up from the quad will be devastating. Incendiary rounds from the MG42 just shredding that conscript squad. Under mortar fire though, decides to reposition it. Flameworth that. Looks like he's going to try do some damage to these conscripts, but he gets too close there. Takes an AT grenade. Where's the quad? Quad's quickly moving to the south along this road. Has to go around the sandbag though. Pack is set up here, perhaps expecting it to come down this road, but looks like Paul is going to play it safe. Not try and chase down that quad. I mean that damaged Flameworth. And Dualskade is suffering from a triple cap now, so his early game advantage is somewhat weakened. What do we see from Dualskade? It looks like he's ticking up now. Does have quite a bit of fuel in the bank, so we'll be able to put down his tech structure. And we'll have to wait and see what he goes for next. And what are we at on the mortars? Paul's actually gone for 2 mortars. So it's a rather unusual strategy. Certainly good against a lot of team weapons though. Oh, nasty rifle grenade forces a mass retreat there. Where's the quad? Where's the quad? The quad in the quad's in the north, trying to shut down that harassment, and it looks like it was successful. Now moving to the centre. Pack's quite defensively positioned though. Mortars just raining down from all sides on the centre. All the troops had evacuated the area though. This thing's still quite damaged. Engine has been repaired though. Looks like he's going to go do some counter harassment now with that. He's just got to be so careful with it though, with the quad on the field. Maybe he's going to put down some more Regal anti-tank mines though. Oh, and it looks like he did! The quad runs over the Regal in the south and down it goes. Paul getting a bit lazy with the sweeping. His sweeper squad's up here in the north planning a demo charge and down goes the quad. So now this Flameworth pretty much has run of the map. There is a Zis on the field and of course there's still a few squads with AT grenades around, so he's not away scot-free, but certainly has brought a large window of opportunity for this Flameworth to flick some bleed onto Paul's squads. Here it comes, trying to chase down this mortar, but he's having a lot of trouble pathing around this sandbag and wreck. Income conscious with the Ura, and there's the Zis here as well. Flameworth, oh, he just cannot get around this wreck. Zis finishes the job, down goes the Flameworth. And unfortunate pathing there from Dualskade. Can't crush that wreck and sandbags as well as that flag there in the centre, really causing his half-track a lot of issues. And down it goes. Unfortunate turn of events there, for sure. Dualskade got to do some harassment of Paul's cut-off. This is what we saw against Momo as well. He's got very good awareness of when he can go for a cut-off play. And it seems to be working out for him quite well. Oh, nice shell from the mortar. Almost wipes that conscript squad. Is it going to go down to the greens? It does! Late retreat there from Paul. And down goes that con squad. It is behind heavy cover here, putting pressure on these conscripts. They're trying to cap though. So what is that? Tactical movement? They are under mortar fire though, so he's got to be careful. Oh, in come the pioneers. Looks like he wants to continue to pressure this cutoff. What else is tactically moving? Nothing else that I can see. And looks like that harassment attempt is going to be shut down. And uh-oh, demo charge here. Is Brigade about to run into this nasty booby trap? Oh, that's a white for sure. Yep, down it goes. He knew that combat engineers were up there earlier in the game. He saw them. He fired upon them for a bit. Probably should have seen a sweeper squad up there, but perhaps doesn't have the resources to spare. Ends up costing himself a green squad. Here comes P4. Looks like he's going to move that towards the north, maybe thinking another cutoff plate. Looks like PauL's also thinking about the cutoff plate. There are two rather unsupported team weapons sitting right here. What is PauL up to in terms of tech? He hasn't teched to tier 4, so looks like we're not going to see any T-34-85s. Probably going to save for the IS-2. Probably going to need a bit more anti-tank though to deal with the P4 rather than just one Zisk gun and conscript anti-tank needs. Another demo charge here on the heavy cover. Nicely done there from PauL. Looks like, is Dill's Brigade aware of that? Looks like he's maybe barraging that area. No, just auto fire. Uh-oh, P4 is getting a bit too deep under this fire and two conscript AT grenades. I think he's going to lose his P4 here. That was reckless. Picks up a con squad, but every Zis shot penetrates the front armor of that P4 and down it goes. Just not a good play there from Dill's Brigade. Got caught well out of position there with this P4 and pays the price. Looks like he's trying to destroy this garrison maybe? I'm not sure what he's up to there. Conscripts in the south, chase away those conscripts. Where's the MG42s? Also had to retreat. Looks like Brigade going to field himself another MG42. Not too far away from another P4. So he doesn't have long to wait. But PauL similarly is not too far away from IS-2, just one and a quarter more command points and he's there. Does have just about enough fuel and he looks like he's going to try to save up his manpower now as well.
This is now German territory. The enemy is taking our territory.
Brigade once again doing some nice harassment of PauL's fuel. If we look at the victory point situation, we see Brigade actually about 25 VPs ahead, so pretty much dead even at the moment. If we look at army size, pretty much also dead even, but we all know that PauL is about to bring on this big boy and that's going to shoot his army size way up. Looks like Brigade is actually going for another squad of pioneers. He lost his squad somewhere, I must have missed that. Instead of going for another P4.
The squad of pioneers has arrived.
And he certainly hasn't had enough manpower to spare to try and build a howitzer so far. PauL's double mortars are certainly inflicting quite a lot of bleed onto Brigade's team weapons. And I think that's causing him a few issues. What have we got? We got 6 kills on Brigade's mortars, 5 on that one for PauL, and 3 on that one for. Okay. So not as many kills as I thought, but PauL is still ahead. I suppose you should be ahead if you've got 2 mortars. That being said, the austere mortar's auto fire does seem to be very, very accurate. Mortars raining down here on the centres. Fresh MG42 suppressing those constant squads, forcing them to retreat. Is there anything to follow up on this? Grenadiers here. Looks like they're going to switch targets, try and shut down this BP harassment in the south.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Constant's coming around the back of the church. Looks like they're going to try to put some pressure on Dilska's mortar. Needs to reposition his MG42. MG Green's in the base still. Dilska does reposition his MG, but it's under heavy fire from these 2 mortars. Are those barrages? They are barrages, so he's got to retreat that quickly or he's going to lose it. Oh, and it gets away on the sliver of health. Okay, so here's the IS-2. That's a big hurdle for Dilska. Looks like he's going for a Stug now. Is that correct? So it looks like he's thinking a pair of Stugs to try and deal with the IS-2. Interesting choice. Probably necessary as well. Doesn't have enough. And we did see some good Stug play from him against Momo. Well, I suppose not that good. He kind of overextended and got lucky that Momo's got main gun destroyed, but we'll gloss over that fact and just focus on the fact that Brigade likes to use the Stugs. It does have a pack as well, so a pack and 2 Stugs should be enough to keep this IS-2 at bay, but it will be quite vulnerable to flanks. No, in fact, he's going for a Panzer IV. Okay, so a P4 and a Stug. Same as what he fielded to face Momo's IS-2. We'll see if we get a similar result. Sweeper's going to the north. Dilska's learnt his lesson. Oh, excuse me. Doesn't want to run into another demo charge booby trap. Oh, that's a stem of it coming in. Looks like it was going for the Stug. Inflicts a little bit of damage, so it's frontal armor luckily, but maybe enough to wipe this pack. Here comes the IS-2. It looks like that was pretty much a direct hit. MG42 is facing this direction, and so is this one facing this direction, so no support for this pack, and that's going to get cleared. P4 and Stug trying to find a line on this IS-2. Wow! Pioneers get wiped by that IS-2. P4 getting up close and personal. Stug trying to fire from the side. Where's the Zis? No, that's a pack and a Zis. And down goes the P4, and I think that's probably going to be GG. There was a nice push there from PauL, applying pressure from all sides, applying pressure down here, through the centre, and that havoc wreaked by the Sternvik attack, and Dilska fell apart there towards the end. I think also a pivotal moment, Dilska losing his P4 up here for no real good reason. And a strong opening from Dilska there, undone towards the end. GG, PauL wins. Series is now 1-0 to PauL.